You're happily married now.
I am, yeah. I've been married. I've been with my wife for about 10 years.
Really?
Maybe.
Because your whole thing originally, when I saw you, was you have a first wife, right? You had.
Yeah. We did a TV show about
and
that.
that Crashing, right?
Called Crashing, yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got married when I was 22.
Oh, I didn't realize you were so young.
Well, the first time.
Yeah.
And then
you can't be young the second time.
Yeah. That's not how time works.
You can't do that again.
No.
You could still be young the second time. If you got married at like 18 the first time and then like 20 the next time.
Shit.
I don't. You pick weird battles. I'll say that. Like, it's a strange time to dig your heels in and go against your dad. I don't understand. I don't understand why you did that.
She just wanted to be part of it.
No, I appreciate that. So,
I'll shut up.
no, that is not what I'm saying. I just thought it was funny and noteworthy that you decided to put your flag there. My wife left me when I was 28 in real life, and then I made a show about that because what happened and what Crashing is about is it's sort of one of my teachers, Richard Rohr, this Franciscan, wrote a book called Falling Upward, which is a wonderful book. And Crashing could have been called Falling Upward because that is the pattern of life. And I know you know this. It's these things you wouldn't want and wouldn't ask for that end up often being the catalyst that push you where you really need to be. As Joseph Campbell said, the treasure you seek is in the cave you're afraid to go into. So I was sort of in the shallow end of comedy. It's not because I was married. It was because I was probably afraid my wife leaves me. So the thing that I thought I couldn't survive, and then I survived. You just do survive. So what happened? What does that mean? You must not be who you thought you were. You must be stronger than you thought you were, because here you are. You're still standing. It's one of those things you can
Sage words.
You can be told that, but when you experience it,
you lived it, and you're an example of that.
And then you go, what the fuck does the Comedy Cellar got on me? My wife already left. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You have a shark bite out of your side. You don't care about the piranhas. You're just like, you're already there.
Were you ever?
Go ahead. Did she leave you? I thought you caught her cheating, and you.
That's what we did on the show. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay.
It's just so much funnier. The reason why you see that in so many movies.
It's so much funnier to catch your wife.
It's funnier.
Doing somebody else.
Think about it like it is. Like, think about Old School, the opening to Old School where Luke Wilson, is it Luke or Owen?
Is it Owen or Luke?
It's Luke. Luke walks in on his wife. That's a trope in movies, is because like the most interesting and engaging way to say or show someone leaving is to have you catch them so you can see the feeling.
That's not what happened.
It's not what happened. My wife sat me down and said, you want to know the story? She goes, she had a list. Poor thing. I really mean that. I'm not just trying to be a good guy. Poor thing. I feel bad for her. She was like, here's what I know for sure. One, I love you. I love you so much.
That's how she opened?
Yeah. The list was called Things I Know for Sure. One, I love you, and I would never want to hurt you. And I'm such a dope. I'm like a golden retriever. I'm 27, 28 at the time. I'm like, okay. I don't know what's going on.
That's almost like saying, I don't mean this in a bad way.
Basically. Yeah. Please, yeah. And she's, she's like shaking reading it. Two, I still don't know what's happening. She goes, number two, I think was I don't want to be a cheating wife. And I literally went, so don't be.
Right.
I still didn't understand. She was saying she was a cheating wife. And then my third question, I think you'll appreciate this, Howie. I can't tell what you'll appreciate. But as a comic, I go, is it a comedian? That was my first question. And she said no. And I'm not shitting you. We did this on the show. This really happened. I went, you're leaving me for a civilian. That's what I said. Like, I was like, sure, leave me, but at least leave me for someone funnier. Like, how can you be, like, what I wanted to say was, like, you think road trips with normal folks are this fun? You think people keep it this cracking and popping at dinner? Like, we're special comics, we're the best. Like, especially at that time in my life, I was obsessed with comedians and comedy, and I thought she was too. Clearly, she wasn't. She was like, I'll take a normie any day of the week. And
she's still with that normie?
I believe so. Very little online presence. Very little online presence.
Wow.
Do you still communicate with her at all, or no?
No, we haven't talked since. I remember the last time I saw her, I was about to go into therapy, and she was just, it was very much like a movie. She was like, be good, or something like that. And she like kind of gave me this,
I have another list.
Once someone reads a list like that, you're like, I'm done talking to you. I don't need any more lists, any more surprises.
Wow.
But she, so then, 10 years later, we made the show because again, this didn't occur to me until way later. But when I had a talk show, I know you had a talk show too, Howie, and I realized I had this kind of come to Jesus moment where I was like, if there is a story that I could tell that's unique What is it? And you know that feeling when you're in your life, it just seems so obvious. Like, of course, my parents are like religious and strange Bostonians. And of course, you don't think it's unique because it's you. It's like fish going, what the hell is water?
Right.
Finally, I was starting to get the picture. I was like, my parents are nut jobs. My wife left me when I was 28 for another guy. And I said, you're leaving me for civilian. That's weird. Like,
Yes.
I'm the weird one in that story.
Right.
And then I got kicked into the deep end of comedy because I didn't have anything else, and it sort of caught me. And then another point we were trying to make with the show was all these ne'er-do-wells. There's another kind
Ne'er-do-well.
of ruckus word.
Yes.
Ne'er-do-wells and pirates like Artie Lang, like Jim Norton, all these people we had on the show, like real pirates.
Right.
I say that with love. They're not true scoundrels, but they're real,
Yes, they are.
Okay, they're nightclub boys.
Right.
And here comes this Latter-day Saint looking sweet baby.
Right.
But in the strangest way, like Big J. Okerson was like a kind and nurturing presence when my heart was broken. And I think that's way more interesting than, my pastor was also nice, but that's not surprising. It's surprising that a guy in fingerless gloves, chain smoking in front of a comedy club doing twat material also can open up his heart and be like, somebody left me too. I understand. Let me help you get spots. Let me help you lose yourself in your art a little bit and rebuild you.